Welcome students to class 11 English classes conducted by your English teacher Monica Kaur. Before I start with Hornbill, I would like you to request please like and subscribe my channel. Chapter 3 Ranga'S Marriage Part 3. Welcome back students to class 11 English Part 3 of Snapshots, lesson number 3, Ranga'S Marriage, written by Masti Venkatesha Iyengar. Today in this video, students, we are going to study firstly the summary of page number 3 and then the relatable vocabulary from that paragraph. Okay, so let's start hurriedly. So before I start with the main points of today, that is the summary, let's please go through the last day's summary that we people have did. Actually, this story starts on a very sad note, that Hosa Ali, which is the background of this story, from where this story has been started, that Hosa Ali was not at all on the map of the Indian Indian territory, that Indian map. Okay. Not only this, means the narrator was really very sad because of that only. But somewhere else he was satisfied also, because Hosa Ali was famous for its sweet dish that is called the karigadabu, as well as it was famous in Mysore for its mangoes orchards and a great creepers that actually create a panorama scenery surrounds the Hosa Ali. But not only he was there as emotional of that Hosa Ali, but the doctor Gunda Bhatta was also the same, in the same viewpoint also. Now students, means that they had some kind of the emotional relationship with Hosa Ali. Although Hosa Ali was really a very remote type of the area, but then also. So here let's start with the next part of the summary. Actually, now here we are getting back. The getting back here means what? That we are going to the flashback. Actually, this story was written in near about 1910. Okay, so but before that, 1900 only near about in 1900, one of the incident occurred in Hosa Ali, and that exactly had written here by the narrator. So narrator himself is giving the first hand narration of the story. Okay, so means it was about that it near about 10 years ago, means this story had started. And this story had started that at that time no one in the village had known even the foreign language like English. Okay, and no one was using it or mixing it with their native language, Kannada. But somewhere else, the village accountant who had sent his only son to Mangalore for study. After that, English words was a part of the Kannada language. Now their native language no more was a pure language, but it was somewhere else mixed with the English words. And the narrator felt really very bad when he always heard that the disgrace of the language, because they never had spoken up the language like that. Their language was pure. Their language was not at all mixed with any type of the foreign language. Okay, so that's why means he was somewhere else very much feeling bad. Now, how he came to know that Kannada language was being mixed up with the English words. Now, one day, when Ranga in the holidays came back home, and there one of an old woman who used to give them or means that who used to sell that firewoods at their house came, and suddenly Ranga came out of the house to pay her, and she told him that he had to pay her 4 pice. Okay, now Ranga told her that he did not have any change. Now they never had used the word change, means the lose money. Okay, so she did not understand the word change, and she really got very sad and really was surprised at what Ranga had said. But she didn't say a word and she left away. And like this the narrator got to know it, that their Kannada language was not at all as pure as it was in their time. Okay, now this English language was really a kind of a slang. Slang means a funny language in the remote village like Hosa Ali. Okay, so means it was like that if someone was coming from the big city, if someone was coming from the means that English educated school, the village was like a crazy, means like crazy crowd. As soon as Ranga came after completing his educations to the village, the crowd became so crazy that what did they decided that they all would go to Ranga's house and to see that what else the changes had been there in Ranga, and they all went there. It was like a black hole. Here, black hole is being that whole of the that a lot of the crowd had been surrounded with that house of Ranga. It was like a black cloud, that it was like a black hole as it was in the Calcutta. It means somewhere else in the history. Okay, and somewhere else, the narrator was also surprised because he was firstly not knowing it that where the crowd was going. So he also went with them. Suddenly, when they stopped at Ranga's that house, so he suddenly means said to himself that whether that some play was going on or some monkey that dance was going on, that they all had come. Suddenly, unsophisticated, uneducated and ill-mannered, a teenage boy really had a very very rude way told him to get out of that place if he would not like to see Ranga. But still, means that narrator didn't say anything, and he was very much muted to see the means he wanted to see the reactions of the crowd after they would going to meet Ranga. Ranga came out from his house. He was not at all like today's modern children who usually means they knew it that their relatives are there, but according to their comfort they used to come out of their rooms to wish them. Ranga was not at all like that. Ranga had gone out, but his customs, but his values were still the same. He came out and he met everyone. He did the namaskara to everyone in that traditional way. Not only this when the old lady touched him or touched his chest, she was so happy to find out a Genevra on his chest. She was really very, very satisfied and she left the place. When everyone saw, Are, means that not even a single change was there in Ranga. Means Ranga had simple that two eyes, two arms, the same that height, the same color, everything else. Ranga was the same as he was means before the 6 months ago when he came back means that to the village in holidays, and he was the same way as it is like. So they really felt disappointed. They were not very happy. Okay, but still the life of the village had been changed because of Ranga's that Bangalore cities returned back that guy. Okay, so now suddenly the crowd was vanishing from there. Here, students, one quote had been used by the narrator over here, and that the quote is lump of sugar in a child's mouth. Okay, as the sugar went inside our mouth and melted down, and we gulp it, we taste it. Same here, this phrase was being used for the crowd. Why? When they were satisfied that there was no change in Ranga, so what they did, that they melt away from the Ranga's house. Like this, this phrase means that. Suddenly, when after meeting the Ranga, when Ranga was going back to his house, that suddenly the narrator called him and asked him that how he was, and he asked with the real name Ranga Appa. Ranga saw him. He went down to his house where he was standing under the tree. He went there, and yes, means the narrator felt so happy. The narrator was really so relieved that Ranga had not left his values, even although he stayed in the city for the longer of the period. Okay, because he did the traditional namaskara, and then he was so humble, he was so nice to him that that the narrator means in his mind specified to himself that he wanted Ranga to get married and to settle down with the best partner in his life. What comes next, students? That I will tell you in my next video. Students, so let's do the relatable vocabulary. Okay, the first is pice. Pice means paisa. Okay, now here pice, because we are talking about 1910 written story. So here pice means what it is, a small copper coin of the East Indies. Means that there were a small copper coins, that is called 1 paisa, 2 paisa, like that. Okay, even that was worth than a cent, means a little bit worth than a cent. Okay, so how you will make a sentence? The old woman told Ranga he had to pay 4 pice to her. Okay, next is Genevra. Now Genevra in Hindus is known as, or in Hindu Brahmins, known as a holy or a sacred thread. Usually the boys used to wear it. It's a white colored sacred thread to be wear on their body. Okay, so how you will make? The old woman was really very happy to find Genevra on the body of Ranga. I hope, students, you people have understood this part of the video. I will be coming back soon. Before I sign off, student, what you have to do? Yes, like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel. And please ring the bell icon for the further notifications. By that time, thank you and take care. These are the 3 questions from the summarized paragraph as assignment 2.